Jeremiah, 20-point win. That's weird. What got into you guys tonight defensively and offensively?
Oh, man. Coach told us to keep pushing, and that was our mindset. We wasn't coming here to lose, especially at home. So our focus was just keep fighting, keep getting stops. That was our number one goal. Stops. And, you guys saw the outcome. We was steady hands on. So
final 8 or 9 minutes from all the young guys, all freshmen and sophomores. How much energy did you guys just kind of feed off of each other and use that to go on their own?
Well, in practice, we always, since day one, it's a lot of energy, with this group of guys. So, and tonight, we just executed at a high level. We all just came together. It just, I don't know, the chemistry was always there, and we just played hard as a unit tonight.
Were you guys aware that it was all sophomores and freshmen out there for basically that last 10-minute stretch?
Yeah. Matter of fact, I told the guys, like, yo, like, what I'm saying? Like, this is a young group now. And actually, coach told us too, like, what I'm saying? This is the future. In the huddle when it was 3 freshmen and 2 sophomores. So yeah, we knew for sure.
Did you guys have to do anything differently when David wasn't out there? Anything differently happened tonight? Obviously losing Dave, circumstances was, everybody had to step up. Dave is a big part of our team, one of our leaders, and that's a big piece missing. So Mike did a great job, Shuey, Mason, everybody, all the young guys came in and, just got the job done. Hands on, like I said. So I'm proud of my guys for sure.
Did you have that feeling in the first part of the first half, like you were just throwing it into the ocean? Because it looked like every time it came out of your hand, you knew it was going in.
Oh yeah, that's where confidence come into play in my eyes. If you're a knockdown shooter, you think of every game, like Steph Curry, boom, just going in every time. So that was my focus. Every time the ball was released, that it was going in. But some didn't go in, but you're gonna have those. So yeah, it was good to see those fall.
Could you feel that back and forth energy with you and Forbes kind of hitting threes?
Yes.
On each trip?
Yes.
How fun is that?
Oh man, it was fun. We was talking to each other during the game. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. But we got the dub. So
just in general, it seemed like you guys were obviously enjoying that last stretch. Has it felt like that at any point earlier this season, or was that the first time?
Yeah, we had stretches like that for sure, but this one hit different. I feel like because we were all connected. We were all connected. We won by 20. So I felt like it was more of a heavy connection this game, and that's scary. That's scary moving forward.
You were here last year too. I mean, obviously it wasn't the same, but did the little bit extra crowd have any impact?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like that's anywhere. What I'm saying? Crowd, the energy, whatever, because basketball is an energy sport. So, what I'm saying? The crowds are into it. If the crowd's into it, what I'm saying? More and more each possession, what I'm saying? And it's going to feed off on the court for the players.
You said the connection was special tonight. How do you keep that going? How do you keep this momentum going through this final stretch?
Oh, man, just keep hands on, like I said. We got the players to do it. We got the coaches to do it. So that's all we speak about is connectivity. And we got a goal. It's a winning conference, obviously. So moving forward, and you're not taking a step back. You know what I'm saying? So we got to keep pushing, and stay connected.
We saw Tari's talent early in the season. This is the first game, we've seen him in a while, though. What do you think switched with him or sparked him tonight?
Oh, man, I feel like he was just playing free. He was playing big time free. And that's all I can say for real, because he's capable of doing that, We know he's capable of doing that. People outside might not know that, but we know that, and I feel like tonight, he just played with a free mind, and 20-piece.
Obviously, a really good win finally. One of the last time we had a double-digit lead late in late in the game. And, but I want to start off with how proud I am of this team. People have no idea what we've experienced, what our guys go through on a daily basis. And I hear things like, well, what about other programs? I'm not worried about other programs. Each young man has his own personality, his own things that they have going on in their life. And, we lost a big part of our team yesterday, coming off just an unbelievably emotional win on the road. And it shows the character in that locker room. It shows the toughness in that locker room. We may not show the physical toughness yet because we're really young that I want to show when you wear that CPAW on your chest. But I think what's overlooked is the mental and the character and substance that is a level of toughness to come in when it's just not going their way. And it was a product of tonight. So if you go back, come off COVID, 6-1 now, 4 straight, lose a big part of your team on the last second shot, get in at 3 o'clock in the morning, come out and have a 20-point win. Even last year off the Colgate game, come back, every time that this program and the young men in that locker room have had adversity, they always come right back. Houston, 38-point loss. Everything's falling in. Go to Tulsa, back-to-back road games, get a victory. So you can't have that without toughness. That doesn't happen without toughness. It doesn't. So we're going to get Cincinnati strong. We'll get Bearcat tough on the court, and we're getting there. But you better believe there's a toughness level to this team that I think needs to be acknowledged. As far as the game goes, obviously I thought, we were limited in terms of our bench. And the young guys really stepped up. JD had a big-time game shooting performance. And when he plays under control, plays off 2 feet driving, and does different things like that, he's really, really good. I thought Mike Saunders did a great job for his first, heavy minute game. And Mike has just been Mr. Consistency all along. For him to have 16 points and 7 assists and 2 turnovers, it's so valuable. I mean, Mason Maston's a point guard too, so it's valuable to have that many ball handlers on the court. And Tari Eason, I said before the game, I said, guys, we're going to need a lift from our bench. 3rd game in 6 days, and certainly Tari provided that for us. So, a glimpse of the future, and but also I thought Keith Williams was unbelievable on the bench in terms of his response to his 4th foul. So excited about the win. I have 4 games in 8 days coming here in less than 48 hours.
Coach, tied at 62. Was there anything you said at that under 8 stop for the team when you kind of went to that young lineup, or did you feel the energy change?
No, I think, obviously the ball went in the basket. We're not letting any second shots. And then when, press, we got some turnovers in the press. So I think, Chad, more than anything, it was probably the pressure started adding up a little bit. We went zone and got consecutive stops in the zone. And we were able to get out in transition. And it's a pretty skilled lineup. Now, listen, we can go off, and we can also make crazy mistakes because of our youth. So, every rebound target, every defensive rebound, and we were playing in transition. We do that, we're pretty good. But I think it really came down to the fact that I didn't say anything. It came down to the fact we got multiple stops. When this team gets multiple stops, consecutive stops, then we're pretty good offensively.
Were you aware of the youth that you had on the floor in that stretch? Was that deliberate?
Well, I was aware of it. I don't know if it was deliberate. I didn't tell Keith to get his 4th foul, but we just don't have. We don't have a ton of depth right now at our positions. So, the only sub for Keith coming out of the game is going to be a freshman.
John, how do they maintain this? This was different. We haven't seen a 20-point win this season, but how do they keep this thing going through this final stretch?
Well, I think it goes back to stops. You're not going to win by 20 per game, but Keith, I think it goes back to, are you willing to put on the line defensively? And it shows what you're able to do offensively if you get stops. When you're taking the ball out of the net every time and they get in a zone press and then they go back zone and the clock just eats away. That's how they win games. That's why Ron's been so good. He gets the game, the timing of the game on his side based on how they play, and that's why they keep games so close and win a lot of games. We were able to flip that by getting stops and getting the first rebound. So you no longer have control of the clock when you get a stop and get the first rebound, and it goes to the faster team. And we just got to be able to, obviously 23 assists, 13 turnovers, all those things are great. It comes down to getting stops.
Was today a coincidence, David? What happens with David and then they play like this today? Was there a rallying thing there, do you
No,
think?
I think it just goes back to what I said before, the adversity, right?
Okay,
COVID,
sure.
25-day layoff, 4 straight wins. 38-point loss at Houston, win the next one at Tulsa on a road game. These guys consistently bounce back from it. Colgate, come back and beat the top 25 team in Tennessee. These guys consistently come back. So you can't do that without character. You can't, that was my whole point in the beginning. There's a toughness to that needs to be recognized.
We've seen
you've continued to have-
flashes of. Go ahead.
Okay, you continue to have, you've mentioned toughness quite a bit in the freshman day, John. Obviously, how much does that correlate to in 2 days you have a quick turnaround against a really good defensive team in Memphis?
I think we got the #1 defensive team in the country coming in here. So we got some work to do here tonight. We'll be up here trying to get right. Our coaches do a great job in advanced scouting. I'll jump involved with them in the Memphis scout now that this game's over. And we'll have a challenge on our hands.
We've seen flashes of Tari's talent, but what was the difference tonight that allowed him to produce like that?
Well, I mean, the ball goes in the basket, it helps. But I just think, when he plays with energy, when he plays with a narrowed focus, he's really, really good. When he plays with living in the past, that play happened. 2 plays ago, this happened. I wasn't 3 plays ago, this happened. He's not as good as he can be. When he's present, and we talk about the precious present. In fact, we even read him the book, The Precious Present, the other day. When he's present, he's really good. When he gets too far out in the future and too far in the back, in the past, is when it kind of messes him up. So I thought he was present today, and obviously his talent is unquestioned. And before the game, I said we're going to need somebody to pick us up off the bench. A multitude of guys did. Tari did, certainly at a high level.
Hey, John, a lot of teams, if they lost by 38 points, they'd want to kind of move on, forget about that, and leave it in the past. But you've brought it up a few times just in this press conference. It seems like you guys are kind of wearing that like a chip on your shoulder. Would that be accurate?
Not a chip on our shoulder, Kel. I think it's just we have character. When you stand in front of a team and it's not going well, okay? Or you stand in front of your staff and it's not going well, you better have character walking through that door that next day. Because the poor me's will come. Well, poor me, I got to go through this. Because as a coach, you're not going to get it out of them unless you have grit, toughness, and a character about you. And you're just not. And in every capacity, we've come back. So I'm pretty lucky to be able to coach those guys in that locker room.
Coach Mikey's hit a 3 in each of the last 3 games. Can you talk about the development of not only his jump shot, but his confidence to be able to let those go now? Because he seemed like he maybe hesitated at times early.
Well, I tell you what, that freshman class is not lost for confidence now. You got Mason Matson throwing lobs, when we need to be working the offense, and looking at me going, Coach, you realize how good that would have looked if we'd have made it? I'm like, no, I realize how bad it looked when we didn't, and they almost went on a run. So they don't lack confidence, and Mikey included. So, performance breeds confidence. Those guys know they're good players. They know why they're at the University of Cincinnati. And I mean, how much fun is it going to be to watch a guy like Mike Saunders get better over the next few years? I'm looking forward to it because his speed, once he starts knocking down shots consistently, he's a problem.
John, you said the other day that you'd like to sit back at the end and finally get to watch the game. You were able to do that a little bit tonight. Did it feel good?
It did. Yeah, it did. I didn't have to try to think of what we were going to do on our next play and our next defensive possession. I was just going to kind of let the guys play a little bit. My team, and as any coaches like this, your team is better when you stop coaching a little bit and the team takes ownership. You know what I mean? So, my best teams have always been teams where I can just manage it and make sure they're in the right spots and just support them. And I was able to do that a little bit more tonight because of their mindset.
Coach, we talked about JD's, energy and his improvement outside shot, but to go 27, 5 and 5, 10 to 16 from the field, I mean, that's like a big development. What has he done that's allowed him to jump up this much of a level?
Well, he's got great confidence, but he works on his game. We've helped him slow his game down. It may not look like it, but he's slowed it. Like those finishes around the rim, he was working on them after shooting around today by himself. But he slows down now. He plays off 2 feet. Think how many traveling calls JD had at the beginning of the year. We do a 2-foot drill that he's just fell in love with. And he's gotten better at it. So even though it looks like he's a little frantic, he's playing with so much more control. I mean, 5 assists, 2 turnovers. That would have been 2 assists, 5 turnovers before. So, he's seeing the game better. He's playing under control more. and that allows his talents to come out. And the biggest thing, he's all in, man. He's got Cincinnati on his chest. He is all in. And when you're all in, it doesn't leave anything else. It only leaves an opportunity for you to be the best version of yourself when you're all in. And I said all the time, Jeremiah Davenport is the perfect COVID player because the game in his head is 13,000 people at Madison Square Garden or 20,000 people at Madison Square Garden, even though there's only 900 people in Fifth Third Arena.
With
Anything
all the
else?
struggles you've gone through at points this season, seeing how the young guys played well down the stretch, did it serve as any validation or maybe just motivation moving forward for the program?
No, I don't. I don't pay attention to what's said. I mean, we're 6-1 in the month of February. That's what I pay attention to.